Hi students, today we are going to see History Unit 3, Yearly Tamil Society and Culture. Today we are going to see History Unit 3, Yearly Tamil Society and Culture. நம்ம முற்காலத்தில் இருந்த தமிழ் சொசைட்டியும் அவங்களுடைய கலாச்சாரங்களை பற்றியும் தான் இந்த லெசனில் பார்க்க போகிறோம். லேர்னிங் ஆப்ஜெக்ட் ஆஃப் திஸ் லெசன் இஸ் டு த தமிழ் லிட்ரேச்சர், archaeological, epigraphic and non-Tamil text sources for the study of the yearly Tamil society. Tinai-based life in the society, literature, polity, society, economy and urbanizations during the period. ஸோ நம்ம இந்த லெசனில் பார்க்க போகிறது தமிழ் லிட்ரேச்சர், ஆர்காலஜிக்கல், எபிக், நான் தமிழ் டெக்ஸ்ட் சோர்சஸ் என்னென்ன அப்படிங்கிறத பற்றியும், தமிழ் சொசைட்டி இயர்லி ஸ்டேஜில் எப்படியெல்லாம் இருந்தாங்க, அது மூலயமா நம்ம அந்த எபிக்ஸ் மூலயமா நம்ம தெரிஞ்சுக்கலாம் அப்படிங்கிறத பற்றி சொல்கிறாங்க. மெயினாக நம்ம தமிழ் சொசைட்டி லைஃப் ஸ்டைலை வந்து திணை பேஸ்டில் தான் நம்ம என்ன பண்ணியிருக்கோம், நம்ம வச்சுருக்கோம் இல்லையா 5 திணைகள், அந்த திணை வச்சு தான் பேஸ் பண்ணி தமிழ் சொசைட்டியோடைய அந்த லைஃப் ஸ்டைலை சொல்கிறாங்க. லிட்ரேச்சர், பொலிட்டி, சொசைட்டி, எக்கனாமிக், அர்பனைசேஷன் எல்லாமே இந்த பீரியடில் எப்படி வந்துச்சு அப்படிங்கிறத பற்றி தான் இந்த லெசனில் பார்க்க போகிறோம்.
Civilization begins at least 3 centuries before the Common Era. As the seafaring people, Tamil traders and sailors established commercial and cultural links across the seas, and merchants from foreign territories also visited the Tamil region. The resulting cultural and mercantile activities and internal developments led to urbanization in this region. Towns and ports emerged. Coins and currency came into circulation. Written documents were produced. Tamil Brahmi script was adopted to write Tamil language. Classical Tamil poems were composed. Sources for the study of early Tamil society. Sources means evidence. The sources can be divided into primary sources and secondary sources. The sources like inscriptions, coins, monuments, materials got from the archaeological excavations are called as the primary sources. That is, the sources either broken or torn but originally prevailed during those times. All the text comes under the secondary sources. They are the written records. To study about the Tamil society, we have sources like classical Tamil literature, epigraphy, that is inscriptions, archaeological excavations and material culture, non-Tamil and foreign literature. First, let us see the classical Sangam literature. The classical Sangam corpus collection consists of Tolkappiyam, the Padinen Melkanakku, that is 18 major works, and the Padinen Keelkanakku, that is 18 minor works, and the 5 epics. First, let us see about the Tolkappiyam. Tolkappiyam is called as Tamil Ilakkana Nool. Tolkappiyam, attributed to Tolkappiyar, is the earliest written work on Tamil grammar. Apart from elaborating the rules of grammar, the third section of Tolkappiyam also describes poetic conventions that provide information on Tamil social life. Next comes the Padinen Melkanakku. The text of Padinen Melkanakku include 10 பாட்டு 10 idols and 8 தொகை the 8 anthologies. These texts are the oldest among the classical Tamil text. The text of Padinen Keelkanakku belong to a later period. The 8 தொகை or the 8 anthologies are நற்றிணை, குறுந்தொகை, பரிபாடல், பதிற்று பத்து, ஐங்குறுநூறு, கலித்தொகை, அகநானூறு and புறநானூறு. 10 பாட்டு are the 10 idols. The collections include 10 long songs. They are திருமுருகாற்றுப்படை, பொருணராற்றுப்படை, பெரும்பானாற்றுப்படை, சிறுபானாற்றுப்படை, முல்லைப்பாட்டு, நெடுநல் வாடை, மதுரை காஞ்சி, குறிஞ்சிப்பாட்டு, Pattinapalai and Malaipadu Kadam. Now we'll see the Padinen Keelkanakku, that is the 18 minor works. The Padinen Keelkanakku comprises 18 texts elaborating on ethics and morals. The preeminent work among these is the Tirukural, composed by Tiruvalluvar. In 1330 couplets, Tirukural considers questions of morality, statecraft, and love. Now we'll see about the 5 epics. The epics are the kapiams or long narrative poem of very high quality. They are Silapadigaram, Manimegalai, Jeevaga Sindamani, Valayapadi and Kundalakesi. Now let us see about the epigraphy. Epigraphy is the study of inscriptions. Inscriptions are documents scripted on stone, copper plates, and other media such as coins, rings, etc. The development of script marks the beginning of the historical period. Now we'll see about the Tamil Brahmi inscriptions. Tamil Brahmi inscriptions have been found in more than 30 sites in Tamil Nadu, mostly on the cave surfaces and rock shelters. These caves were the abodes of monks, mostly Jain monks. The natural caves were converted into residence by cutting a drip line to keep the rainwater away from the cave. Inscription often occur below such drip lines. Mangulam, Muttupatti, Pugalur, Arachalur and Kongarpuliyangulam are some of the major sites of such caves with Tamil Brahmi inscriptions. You will notice that among the old inscriptions, people, both local and the tourist, have marked their names, thereby destroying some of the ancient inscriptions. Such acts of destructions of heritage property or the belongings to others are called vandalism. It is our duty to safeguard the cultural heritage, so never allow anybody to spoil it. Next, we'll see about the hero stones. Hero stones are the memorials erected for those who lost their lives in the battles and in cattle raids. During Sangam age, the Mullai landscape followed the pastoral way of life. Tribal chieftains plundered the cattle wealth of the enemies whose warriors fought to protect their cattle. Many warriors died in such battles and were remembered as martyrs. Memorial stones were erected in their honor. Hero stones of the Sangam age with Tamil Brahmi inscriptions can be found at Puliman Kombai and Tatapatti in Theni district and Purpanai Kottai in Pudukkottai district. Same way, potsherds have been discovered in Arikamedu, Alagankulam, Kodumanal, Keeladi and many other sites in Tamil Nadu. You can see in the picture, this red color picture, a motif of a ship on pottery from Alagankulam. Can you see this? Next, we'll go to the archaeological sites. Archaeological excavation refers to systematically digging a site to recover material evidence for exploring and interpreting societies of the past. Excavations at Arikamedu, Alagankulam, Urayur, Kanjipuram, Kaveripumpatnam, Kurkai, Vasavasamudram, Keeladi, Kodumanal in Tamil Nadu and Patnam in Kerala provide the evidence of this period. Arikamedu near Puducherry is a Sangam age port excavated by the Archaeological Survey of India, ASI. They found the evidence of a planned town, warehouse, streets, tanks and ring wells. Look at this picture, a ring well at Arikamedu. Now let us go to the material culture and coins. Coin as a medium of exchange were introduced for the first time in the Sangam age. The coins of the Cheras, the Cholas and the Pandyas, punch-marked coins and Roman coins form another important source of evidence from the Sangam age. Punch-marked coins have been found at Kodumanal and Bodinayakanur. Roman coins are concentrated in the Coimbatore region and are found at Alagankulam, Karur and Madurai. They were used as bullion for their metal value and as ornaments. Now we'll see non-Tamil sources, foreign accounts. Non-Tamil literary sources also offer information on early Tamil society. The presence of the non-Tamil sources reveals the extensive contacts and interactions of the early Tamil society with the outside world. Arthashastra, Mahavamsa, Periplus of Erythraean Sea, Pliny's Natural History, Ptolemy's Geography, Peutingerian Table, Vienna's Papyrus are the few non-Tamil sources. Look at this map. This is the map of Peutingerian Table. Peutingerian Table is an illustrated map of the Roman roads. It shows the areas of ancient Tamilagam and the port of Muziris. Now let us see the Sangam age. The Sangam age or the early historic period is an important phase in the history of South India. Among the political powers of the Sangam age, the Cheras, the Cholas and the Pandyas occupied preeminent positions. The Sangam age political powers of Tamilagam. The Sangam age has its root in the Iron Age. The Cheras, the Cholas and the Pandyas known as Moovendar, that is the three kings. Whalers of the Sangam age were the chieftains. First we'll see about the Cheras. The Cheras referred to as the Keralaputras in the Ashokan inscriptions. Vanji was the capital of the Cheras, while Musiri and Tondi were the important ports. The Cholas ruled over the Kaveri Delta and the northern parts of Tamil Nadu. Their capital was Urayur and their port town was Kaveripumpatnam or the Pumbuhar. The Pandyas who ruled the southern part of Tamil Nadu. Madurai was the Pandyas' capital. The Pandyan symbol was the fish. Look at this picture. The Sangam age Pandya coin with fish symbol. Whalers are the chieftains. Apart from the Vendars, there were Whalers and numerous chieftains who occupied territories on the margins of the Moovendars. Society in the Sangam age. Many of the communities of the Iron Age society were organized as tribes and some of them were chiefdoms. The Sangam age society was a society in transition from a tribal community ruled by a chief to a larger kingdom ruled by the king. There were 7 clan-based communities including groups such as Panar, Parattavar, Einar, Ulavar, Kanavar, Vettuvar and Maravar. The Vendars, chiefs and their associates formed the higher social groups. There were priests who were known as Andanars. The women were frequently referred to in Tamil text as mothers, heroines and foster mothers. Friendly women from Panar families, dancers, poets and royal women were all portrayed in the Sangam literature. Now we'll see the economic condition. The economy was a mixed as elaborated in the Tinai concept. People practiced agriculture, pastoralism, trade and money exchange, hunting, gathering and fishing depending upon ecozones in which they lived. In the Sangam age, there were professional groups that produced various commodities. Kings constructed temples and spent lot of money to provide employment for the people. Now we'll see about the pottery. Pottery was practiced in many settlements. Blackware, russet coated painted ware, black and red ware potteries were the different types of pottery used. Iron smelting industry. The iron smelting industry. Iron manufacturing was an important artisanal activity. Look at the picture. Iron swords from Puducherry excavation. Now we'll see the stone ornaments. Sangam age people adorned themselves with a variety of ornaments, while the poor wore ornaments made of clay, terracotta, iron, and leaves and flowers. Gold ornaments. The rich people wore the jewelry made of precious stones, copper, and gold. You can see in the picture some of the gold ornaments. Now we'll see about the pearl fishery and shell bangle. The Pamban coast is famous for pearl fishery. A pearl has been discovered recently excavated at Keeradi site. Shell bangles were very common in the Sangam age. The Paratavas collected conch shells from the Pamban island, which were cut and crafted into bangles by artisans. Look at these pictures. A bronze tiger with carnelian stones, Kodumanal. A bronze vessel from a megalithic burial, Aravalli, Puducherry. Glass beads, green color glass beads from Purundal excavation. A spindle owl from Pattanam. Textile and spindle owls from Kodumanal. Look at this. These are the shell waste of bangle craft production. Tamilagam and overseas interactions. Tamil country had connections with the countries overseas both in the east and west. Yavanar referred to the westerners including the Greeks, Romans and West Asian people. Look at this map. We can understand that the Tamil country had trade connections with the overseas. Now see this picture. A stone with the name Perum Padangal has been found at Khon Luk Pat, Thailand. Southeast Asia was known as Swarnabhumi in Tamil literature. This stone was used by a person called Perum Patan, probably a goldsmith. It was a touchstone used to test the purity of gold. Now we'll see the pictures. These are the archaeological excavations from Pattanam. Pattanam is located near North Paravur in Vadakekara village of Ernakulam district of Kerala. It was an ancient port town that had overseas connections with the western and eastern worlds. Look at the picture. Pottery, Kanak, turquoise glazed pottery, cameo, gold ornaments from the excavations of Pattanam, Kerala. Kodumanal, Tamil Nadu. Kodumanal is located near Erode in Tamil Nadu and is identified with the Kodumanam of Paditrupattu. Evidence of iron, stone bead and shell work as well as megalithic burials have been discovered at this site. More than 300 pottery inscriptions in Tamil Brahmi have also been found. Next comes the Keeradi near Madurai, Tamil Nadu. Keeradi is located near Silaiman east of Madurai. on the highway to Rameshwaram, in a large coconut garden called Pallichandai Tidal, the Archaeological Survey of India excavated an ancient town dating to the Sangam age. Archaeological excavations have produced evidence for brick building, drainage, Tamil Brahmese inscription on pottery, beads of glass, carnelian and quartz, pearl, iron objects, game pieces, and antimony rods. Further, excavation may shed light on the nature of the craft production and the cultural activities undertaken at this settlement. Now we'll see the faith and belief system. Like the diverse nature of the society and economy, the belief system of the Sangam age was also diverse. People worshipped natural forces and dead heroes and also the ancestors. Jainism was present as evidenced by the caves with the Tamil Brahmi inscriptions. Performance of yajna is also evidenced. Buddhism was also present in certain centers. Different groups practiced various forms of worship. At last comes the culture of arts. Various art forms too existed in the Sangam age. Performances of ritual dances called Veriyatal are referred to in the literature. People took care of their appearance, and evidence of antimony rods, cold sticks made of copper, has been found in the archaeological sites. They were used by women for decorating their eyebrows. Look at this chart. This is the Tamil Brahmi script. The Tamil Brahmi script used in the Sangam age for writing the Tamil language.
Let us see the recap. Primary productions and exchange and social relationships in the landscape and maritime activities across the seas led to urbanizations and development of culture, paving way for the development of literature during this period. ஸோ இந்த ப்ரைமரி ப்ரொடக்ஷன்ஸில் நம்ம சோஷியல் ரிலேஷன்ஷிப் வர்றதுக்கு வந்து நம்ம எக்ஸ்சேஞ்ச் பண்ண மெட்டீரியல் எக்ஸ்சேஞ்ச் பண்ணுறது, நம்ம சி ஓரியன்டாக இருந்த ட்ரேடிங் அந்த கல்ச்சர்ஸ் அதெல்லாம் தான் வந்து என்னது டெவலப்மெண்ட்டுக்கு மெயின் காரணமாக இருந்துச்சு. த டெக்ஸ்ட் வேர் கம்பல்டு த்ரூ த தமிழ் அகடாமிக்ஸ் சங்கம் அட் த லேட்டர் டேட். இந்த டெக்ஸ்ட்டு நம்ம மூலயமா எழுதுகிற அந்த சங்கம் ஏஜ் வந்து அந்த பீரியடில் கம்பல்சரி எல்லாருக்கும் படிக்கணுங்கிற ஆர்வத்தை உருவாக்குச்சு. த திணை கான்செப்ட் இஸ் த district classifications of land and people as elaborated in தொல்காப்பியம். ஸோ இந்த தொல்காப்பியம் மூலயமா வந்து திணை கான்செப்ட் வந்து எல்லாருக்கும் ரீச் ஆச்சு. அட் த சேம் டைம் நம்ம எல்லாருமே வேரியஸ் கிளாசிஃபிகேஷன் ஆஃப் த லேண்டு, எந்த அளவுக்கு மக்கள் வந்து இந்த நாடு அந்த நாடு அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு சேர நாடு சோழ நாடு எலாபரேட்டாக இருந்தாங்க அப்படிங்கிறத பற்றி தெரிஞ்சுக்கிட்டோம். The Sangam age witnessed the transitions from tribal society to kingdom center politics. ஸோ இந்த சங்கம் ஏஜில் தான் வந்து என்ன பண்ணாங்க, இந்த ட்ரைபல் சொசைட்டி, இந்த பழங்குடியினர் அந்த இதெல்லாம் மாறி கொஞ்சம் கொஞ்சமாக பொலிட்டிக்கல் அரசியல் இதில் டெவலப் பண்ணாங்க. சீபோன் ட்ரேட்ஸ் வித் இந்தியன் ஓஷன் ரீஜன்ஸ் டெவலப்டு. ஸோ இந்த சீபோனில் இருக்க இந்த இந்தியன் ஓஷன் மூலயமா நடந்த ட்ரேட்ஸ்லாம் வந்து இன்னும் நம்மளுடைய தமிழ் சங்கம் வளர்றதுக்கு ரொம்ப இதுவாக இருந்துச்சு அந்த டைமில். The large towns with buildings made of bricks appeared in the Tamil country. So bricks, இந்த செங்கல் அந்த மாதிரி பில்டிங்ஸு, பெரிய பெரிய பில்டிங்லாம் உருவாக்குறதுக்கு அந்த டைமில் தமிழ் கண்ட்ரியில் ரொம்ப பாப்புலராக இருந்துச்சு. The society was derived in nature. ஸோ அப்படியே கொஞ்சம் கொஞ்சமாக நம்மளுடைய சொசைட்டி இம்ப்ரூவ் ஆகிட்டு போயிட்டே இருந்துச்சு அப்படிங்கிறத சொல்கிறாங்க. தேங்க்யூ சில்ட்ரன்.